What is going on, everybody? Mr. Andrews here, and I wanted to do a short video for an assignment for you guys in your social studies packet. Um, but before we get into that, if you haven't heard, and I'm sure you're going to be hearing all of us say it, all us teachers and stuff, that this is the last week for live streams and things like that. But if you have any questions or concerns about that, you can definitely ask Miss Yingling or ask any of us in the group chat or here on YouTube Live and stuff, and we're going to help you the best that we can. We'll still be available. After this week, if we need to upload any other videos or answer any specific questions that you may have. But again, this is going to be the last week of live streams, and I know a couple of us, or maybe more than a couple of us, have probably finished these packets already. But every student, everybody's a little bit different in terms of how they their work. So we still may have some students that are getting close to completing their packets. So I'm going to be trying to upload a couple other videos other than my live streams this week and maybe even next week a little bit, just to help you guys out, because these packets, they are getting to that point or getting to that time where they are going to be turned in or collected, because it's already the 18th of May, which is kind of hard to believe, but yes, the school year is just about done. And obviously it's been a interesting and surprising school year given everything. It's not really the one any of us had envisioned, but everybody's making do and doing the best that they can with the current situation. But again, this is the last week of live streams, and you're going to hear me say that. You're going to hear all the other teachers say it. Maybe you've already heard it. But today's video, like I said, I want to try to keep it relatively short, a lot shorter than my live streams. It's just going over assignment number 8 in your Blizzard bag. It's called Students Engage. And this one's a little bit different. There is no background reading beforehand. And if you can see it on my screen, I have it up here as well. So, this is seeing what you guys see in the packet. The second half, or the last kind of part of this packet, is really putting, or I guess shining some light on the responsibility and the roles of citizens and this idea of citizenship. So how can you, maybe a sixth, seventh, or eighth grader, or this can apply when you're an adult as well. But how do people become engaged in their communities and their government and things like that? So that's what this is going to focus on. Becoming knowledgeable about what your rights and responsibilities are, about what your political rights are as well, and whether you can participate and be active in that sense. So what I'm going to do here is just kind of go over these activities, and especially for this assignment, Students Engage. Like I said, it's different. There's no background reading, just some activities for you to really try your hand out and to kind of put yourself in these scenarios and imagine what you would do to kind of, become engaged, I guess, as the assignment says. Again, no background reading, so I'm just going to provide like a quick overview, a quick rundown, maybe some helpful hints and stuff like that in terms of each of these activities. So let's go ahead and get started with Students Engage, and this is activity A, kind of right here at the top. So engaging options, okay, it wants us to find a solution or the way to fix the problem that seems like the best match for addressing each problem, okay? So you have your list of problems here, okay, 1 through 6, and then you have your solutions here in the right-hand side, okay? So over here, again, we have problems, solutions, and there's some visuals down here that might help you guys out a little bit as well. So some of these problems, we'll start with number 1. So some people in your town don't have enough to eat, while many businesses are throwing out a lot of food. Okay, could be something maybe that we used to see before everybody and everything was shut down. Problem 2 here: there's a park close to where you live that could be a great place to hang out, but it's full of gross trash and the landscaping hasn't been maintained. Okay. Number 3, the wheelchair accessible area near the school bleachers don't have very good a view of the field. Some sports and activities won't be offered at the school next year because there isn't enough money to fund them. Number 5, drunk driving accidents have increased in your community over the past year. Too many people think drinking and driving is okay. And then number 6, the posted speed limit on your street is too high, making your neighborhood dangerous. Okay. So again, very kind of, for lack of a better term, basic level problems here. Maybe these are possible problems or issues in your community, in your neighborhood. So this is hopefully trying to connect with you on a personal and kind of real life basis here. So let's go ahead and look over the solutions in the box over here. Again, kind of, this is paying attention to where I'm clicking here. So solutions over here, problem, and we just got to match it up. So one option, attend a meeting or attend a meeting of your local governing body and ask them to enact a change. Okay, that it's very vague, but it could be more applicable to one here, not number one, but any one of these. B, hold fundraisers like bake sales or yard sales to raise money. Again, think about maybe which problem here was suffering because of a lack of money. That might help you a little bit. C is recruit volunteers and organize a weekend work party. Okay, look, again, look to see how, or look for the specifics for each problem and see if any of these solutions, connect or share any kind of commonality with the problem. Arranged to meet with charity groups and the businesses involved to talk about how they could work together. Okay, so which one talks about businesses? Again, that's probably a key word there. Letter E, write a blog post on the issue and ask local businesses and organizations to post it on their websites. So blog posting, think like Twitter, Instagram, or whatever else you guys use, Snapchat and stuff like that. So maybe it's not actually writing, but maybe just making a video, okay, instead of typing it out. And lastly, email your principal asking for the problem to be fixed by presenting a few possible solutions. Again, each one of these do have one match, so make sure we're kind of looking for those keywords, and that's really going to be the kind of key to find which one match with, to find which solution matches the problem the best. Okay. All right. So activity B here is saying solutions. So look at the list your class made and choose two problems that seem most important to you and write them below. Initially, this handout was made where we started by as a class sharing what some potential problems are. If you just think of problems in your own neighborhood, that's what you could put here in problem 1 and problem 2. If you can't really think of any, I would say use some of the problems that are listed in the previous activity just to make it easy on yourself. Again, don't try to make this too difficult. Work smarter, not harder. So if you got 2 of your own problems, go ahead and do that here. Or if you can't think of any problems in your neighborhood, you can make them up, totally make them up, or pull from the previous example. 6 freebies right there if you want to use this. And then you might able to also use the possible solutions here. So working a little bit smarter, don't make this too difficult on yourself. So after we pick those problems, it wants us then to list 2 action steps you could use to solve each problem and explain how the action step would address a problem. All right, so what's the first thing you're going to do, and quickly explain how's it going to help. Again, quick sentence here. Action step number 2, okay? What's the next and last thing you're possibly going to do? And again, explain how that would help. Again, I would say pull from experience if you can. Pull from the examples that are already provided for you in Activity A. And these explanations where you explain how it would help, they don't need to necessarily be full-on paragraphs. Again, you're not given a whole lot of space there. Just keep it short, keep it simple. Okay. All right, students engaged. That's the next page here. So once another activity, part A, develop a plan. Hold on a second. Sorry, I thought I was hearing one of my twins kind of scream their head off, but nope, must be the TV. Okay, activity A here says develop a plan. When you want to solve a problem, the first thing you need is a plan. Follow these steps to see how you can organize your thoughts and around an issue you'd like to change. Okay. All right, so number 1, again, kind of pulling from the previous activity, choose an issue from the list that the class created. Again, you could make one up. You could pull from one in the previous activity. To keep it simple, don't make this more difficult than it needs to be. The second part here is list 2 reasons why you chose this. Okay, maybe you have a relative or a family member that has suffered from this problem, or you can use what's going on in the world right now with the COVID-19 pandemic, and maybe that could be an issue. Just focus on your community or focus on your neighborhood. Maybe it's just your street, possibly. It doesn't need to be a whole statewide thing that you're trying to fix, but maybe just a little neighborhood kind of thing. And it's nice here. It gives you space on these sticky notes. And you can go into as much detail as you want here. It doesn't need to be full-on paragraphs, just short, simple sentences, I think, is the way to go, just to make this easy. Number 3 here is saying list 1 way things could be better if the problem were solved. Okay, so again, that's you kind of imagining what's going to be better if this problem gets solved. Put that down a few key terms there, a few key words. Keep it short, keep it simple. Number 4, list 2 things you think are causing the problems. Okay, what could be causing the issue? If it is something like there's a lot of accidents in your neighborhood, okay, is it people texting and driving or something like that? Or is it people not following the speed limit or paying attention to stop signs and things like that? So you can pull from your personal experience, or like I've been saying, pull from the previous activities and examples. And again, it's pretty nice. You got a lot of options here, or a lot of space to write your responses. And then number 5, describe the first step that you would take to solve the problem. What's going to be the first thing that you do? Okay, is it posting about it on Instagram? Is it making a video on Snapchat or whatever it is? So what's the first thing you're going to do? Okay. And then if we keep on going to the action plan, the next piece, all right, presentation prep. Obviously, I'm not going to have you guys record a video or anything like that, but you could still fill out the rest of this as we imagining that you were going to present. So let's go ahead and check out the directions. So the next step is to prepare an action plan for a presentation. Organizers use speeches and writing to gain support for their issues and movements. By filling in the blanks, you'll create a speech that has the basic parts. So this one's really nice because it kind of gives us these talking points, kind of these big ideas, and then we just really need to fill in the blanks. Again, we're not obviously going to have you guys present or anything like that. Not possible. I'm not going to require you guys to record yourselves, upload it. That's just asking a little too much, I think, for you guys to do. But we can still kind of fill this in as if we were going to present. So again, you're just pulling from what you've completed on the sticky notes page. Okay, so you think of this page right here, all these different options as you're pre-writing, and then you're putting it into the presentation mode, or the presentation prep, what they call it here. So today I'm here to talk about the problem of speeding or accidents in my neighborhood. This issue is important to me because it affects me and my family. I've had relatives hurt as a result, something like that. It should be important to everyone here because think maybe this could happen in your neighborhood. If we organize to change this issue, life will be better because people are going to be safe. And we don't need people going to the hospital and things like that. And you guys kind of, I hope, get the idea. You're just kind of filling in the rest of this. Like I said, they have these nice stems or these kind of starters for you, kind of get your mind straight and kind of help you focus. But again, don't worry about presenting this. Don't record anything. You don't need to upload or share anything like that. Just complete this as if you were going to present, but you absolutely do not need to. Okay. Students engaged. Activity C, make it visual. Now it wants us to draw an illustration that supports your presentation. Again, I know not everybody is a amazing artist, but some of us actually are. So this is an opportunity for you, if you are artistically gifted, unlike myself, to express that creativity that you have, and then have at it with this blank slate here. If you're not so artistically inclined, just do the best that you can do. You can turn the paper the other way so it's more kind of landscape, so you have a bigger canvas to work with, I guess. If you want to do stick figures, try to add a little bit more detail than stick figures, but you guys kind of know my thing for drawing or for visuals. I'm not very good at drawing, so you've seen my examples. Just do the best that you can with this. Okay. So again, make sure everything connects back to what that central problem is that you identified and that you picked. Okay, and then this should be the last little couple pages that we have here. It's called the reflection activity. Let's go ahead and take a look at this, and then we should be able to call it a day for this video. Again, no necessary background reading for this. It's just really putting yourself in these scenarios, then to see how you would be engaged and how you would participate in this. So activity A, making a change. For each question, check the answer that you think is the best possible step for solving the problem described. Then explain how the answer you chose could solve the problem. Okay, so very straightforward here. It's giving you this short scenario. Let's look at number 1 together. You find out that the bookstore that you love, owned by your very nice neighbors, is going out of business. What can you do? Again, just imagine that you're this person. You don't need to actually have a favorite bookstore. If you guys even been into a bookstore, probably not recently with everything being shut down and stuff like that. Barnes & Noble's a fun place. They have a lot more than just books. Same thing with Books A Million. They got lots of cool things, games, puzzles, music, A lot of comics and stuff like that, graphic novels too. So more than just old people books, if you want to think of it that way. But what can you do to help? Buy the bookstore from them, put up flyers in your neighborhood to attract businesses for them, write to City Hall, open your own store. So whichever one you pick, again, there's no one single right answer, but try to make it as realistic as you can, and then a short explanation how this stuff would help solve the problem, and take that same approach for the next couple here. So it looks like we have three. Okay. Uh, sorry, looks like we have 4 and 5. Okay. So we have 5, and again, that um, I think isn't too bad. It's not asking too much in the last one, number 5 here, is saying out of all these actions, uh, which would you be most likely to actually do? Okay, so it's maybe thinking a little bit deeper on this, actually reflecting on it. Okay, is it the bookstore? Is it any of the other ones here that they provide for us? And I think this activity, yep, okay, this activity should be the last one, outcomes. So this might be probably the most difficult, I would say, or the most challenging. But it's asking us to complete the chart with the problems, action steps, and outcomes. So it's going to have some blanks here. Then we're just going to need to fill in. So for number 1 here, we don't have a problem. Okay, we're going to have to figure that out. They do give us the action step. Okay, so the thing that we're going to do to help fix this problem, whatever it may be, and then what would be the outcome of that. Okay, so some of these we're working backwards, some of these we're starting in the middle, then got to work on the beginning and the ending. So they're changing it up a little bit. If it helps, maybe do number 3 or the third one here first to kind of just remember how that whole process works. But let's go ahead and take a look at this one together and kind of see what they really want us to do. So again, we don't have a problem, but we do have the action steps. Okay, so we design posters to raise awareness about animal adoptions. Okay, so what could be a possible problem here? Maybe there's a lot of stray cats, stray dogs, whatever the case may be, or maybe noticing a lot of roadkill of cats or dogs, whatever it may be. Okay, that's just one I'm coming up with, the one I'm throwing out. So you design posters to raise awareness about animal adoptions and what is an outcome. Okay, so maybe the local pet store, vet, or whatever is doing really well. A lot of people are coming to adopt the dogs, cats, and then we don't have as many roadkills, or the stray animals have lessened. Okay, that could be an option that you do. Number 2, or the second one here, again, you're working completely backwards. So the outcome is the school board budgets more money for quality school lunches. And again, I think maybe 8th grader, you guys have seen how this has changed in your time here at Summit. Think back a couple of years ago when lunch was not the greatest, to put it nicely. But some things were changing. You guys have pretty good lunch, I would say. I've had it a few times, and it's a lot better than it used to be. Believe me. So again, just work a little bit backwards, and this last one is pretty straightforward. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up here for students to gauge. Again, just kind of review everything. No background reading. It's really trying to put yourself in the mindset or in the perspectives in these scenarios, and think about how you would become engaged in your community. What kind of things, what action steps would you do to help solve these problems? Okay, and a lot of it's just a short explanation of why you think that's the best solution, or why you think that solves the problem. Okay, and a couple of them, yeah, it's going to ask which one would you actually do, perhaps. But on that note, I think that's going to be about it. If you got any questions, please ask on Google Classroom, ask in our Google Hangouts thread, with the teachers, parents, and stuff like that, or email if that's something you prefer to do, or have your parents email us. But until then, I'm going to try to post another video tomorrow, maybe looking at another maybe difficult assignment. But I'll see 6th grade on Wednesday, 7th grade on 8th grade on Wednesday, 7th on Thursday, and 6th grade on Friday. As a reminder, I'm going to throw a bumper here at the very last bit. This is the last week of streams, so try not to freak out. You're probably going to get tired of me and all the other teachers saying that. But yeah, we're call it a day, guys. Thank you. If you do watch this, remember to make sure you're trying to get your work done, try to get it turned in and collected. But stay safe, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.